Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to my video. I was going to say my show, but it's not a show. Um, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays, and all that jingle bell stuff. Joy to the world. Welcome. It's been a while since I've posted anything, and what I've been seeing lately is a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety due to COVID. Right? People coming in scared to get it. A lot of people on edge due to the election, everything that's going on, and that's happening today on January 6th. There are like a couple 100,000 people in DC. Not going to go into it at all. But regardless, I'm seeing a lot of people dealing with this on a daily basis, and along with losing jobs or not being able to make rent, stuff like that. So you have all that, and then you live together. I have seen an increase of couples coming in, trying to learn how to work it out. Now, I'm not sure what that means and why that's taking place, but I'm just going with it because that's obviously where I'm supposed to be right now. And what I'm finding is, first of all, when they both show up, that means they want to be there. They want to work on the relationship, which is a good thing, because I've had a time when the spouse didn't show up, and we just kind of took that as a clear indication of what's happening. So I've seen an increase in people not being able to communicate with each other. And we see this a lot. There's a lot of bad communication taking place, right? And some of the reasons people don't communicate well right now is they don't know really how they feel or what they're thinking, right? So you need a sense of awareness. And so one thing that will help everybody in any situation that you're ever in would be emotional intelligence, okay? Emotional intelligence, or EI, also known as EQ, which is an emotional quotient. And so let's take a look-see and see what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judicially and empathetically. Judicially means with good judgment, by the way. Judicial, right? To judge. Of course, I'm not sure so much about our judicial system. Whatever, I'm not going into that. I digress. If you are feeling stressed out, if you are having a hard time, and we're going to get to communication in a second, but if you're feeling that, my recommendation to you is get off of media, get off of social media, get off of them. They're not good. People get on there and they just fight. They say whatever they want to say because there's no real repercussions of whatever you're going to say, which is why everyone's fighting right now. We don't know how to communicate anymore because social media has taken over. People are losing connection. They might be communicating, but they're losing connection. And connection is technically a type of intimacy, or can coincide with intimacy. Because when you open up about who you are, when you start communicating that about who you really are, there's a vulnerability of getting hurt. Someone's going to judge you, call you a name, reject you, right? All those things, it hurts. So then we close up and we put a mask on, and then we don't show people who we really are. And then we're scared to communicate. That's one reason people don't communicate. Here are a few ways to deal with communication and communication problems. The first one is emotional intelligence. Now, I've already said this, obviously, but understanding your emotions, being able to control your emotions, understanding how your emotions affect you and what triggers certain emotions, what thoughts triggers emotions or behaviors. It's very important to understand this stuff because once you understand it, now you can use it, okay? before you understand it, it's just all over the place, and you're not really in control of it. So the more in control you are of your emotions, the better you're going to be. I read an article the other day saying if you have high emotional intelligence, you're more likely to be successful than people with high IQs. So I thought that was interesting. I do believe they should teach this in school. I'm not sure exactly why we don't. Another thing that you can do to help communicate better is use I statements. And how an I statement goes is, I feel this when you do that. That is better than saying, you make me do this, and you're this, and start name calling. You're an a-hole, I hate you, you blah, 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 right? It's better because you're controlling your emotions. You're owning them. You're saying, you might not be controlling them, but you're owning your emotions. I feel this when you do that, instead of saying, you make me feel this. If you make me feel that, then you can make me feel anything, right? You're in control of my emotions, not me. And that's a scary thing. I think about psychology of marketing. Oh, they can manipulate your emotions. They can make you buy stuff. And don't own their emotions. Let them own their emotions. You can communicate something to someone, but you don't have to own the person's feeling. Sometimes when we own their feelings, we'll back off and be like, I don't want to say this because it's going to be bad. And then before you know it, we're not going to be friends. One thing I do tell my couples is I'd rather, if you're going to get divorced, I'd rather see a divorce take place because you were honest with each other rather than because you lied with each other or to each other. The other person, they're not a mind reader. So you kind of have to be honest. Otherwise, they're assuming things are okay. You're assuming things are okay. If you're going to be honest with someone, or communicate with someone, this is what I always say: be honest, but be respectful. Okay, the moment you start attacking, it's no longer communication. Now it's an attack. If you can do it, all power to you. But another step for communicating with your significant other, or even your kids, or even your boss, anyone, but especially couples right now, because that's what I'm seeing, so that's what I'm going with. If you can observe without judging, good luck. I don't know anyone that can do this. I'm sure there might be people who could do this, but it's very difficult. And that's where the emotional intelligence, or being able to control your emotions, comes in. Because someone's going to say something to you and it's going to poke you emotionally, and you're going to want to fight back. But if you can hold yourself, listen to what they're saying, hear what their need is, and pinpoint what where the pain is coming from, and if you truly love them, then you will change that about yourself, or at least you guys can compromise. Observe without judging. Your conversations and fights, arguments, debates, whatever you want to call them, they typically go better because you're not screaming at each other. You're not throwing stuff. You're not getting physical. If you really, really want to improve your life, if you really want to improve your relationships, your job, if you really want to improve your marriage, or with your kids, learn emotional intelligence. And not only learn it, but teach it to your kids, teach it to your spouse, teach it to yourself. It'll improve your life all over, not just one. It'll improve every aspect of your life, or the majority of every aspect of your life. Good game, everyone. Way to bring the heat. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Like and subscribe. Don't smash the bell button, just push it. Phones are expensive.